So if you struggle with your deadlift setup, don't worry, I got you. Whether you pull sumo or conventional, we're gonna fix that. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be going over your deadlift setup. So again, whether you pull sumo or conventional, it's gonna be very similar concepts in creating foot pressure, pulling the slack, and pushing your hips forward into your wedge, which are the three most common mistakes a lot of people will make. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right guys, so even if you are pulling conventional, the amount of effort you put into your foot pressure is gonna dictate whether or not you're going to drive your hips forward, or if you're going to pull yourself back and risking a hitch or losing the lift because you'll be trapping your hips the second you begin to lean back. So when you're setting yourself up, make sure that you're looking down and see the bar is across the middle of your foot. Depending on how long you are, what your leverages will look like, you may have to kind of scoot yourself back to where the bar is more so towards the ball of your foot if you have a shorter foot. Around midfoot works really well. From here, we're trying to drive our hips back to be able to load the hamstrings and glutes. That's what we call a hinge. But for the deadlift, it's gonna be a little bit different because once the hands are around the middle of the knee, you're going to push the shins to the bar. We're not squatting back, we're pushing forward. So from here, pay attention to the toes. From here, we're drifting into the heels, but then as we push forward, push with the big toe so that we're gonna be able to push more forward, loading into our quad. Our quads are gonna be involved with pushing the floor away from us so that we're able to follow through into extending. When you get to this point, you do not want to drift into your heels and then start pulling back. Instead, from here, push your big toe down and drive with your hips. Now, if you're pulling sumo, this is gonna be a little bit more important. When you're setting yourself up for sumo, pay attention to where you are pointing your foot. If you're someone who pulls really far out, you have a higher likelihood that you're gonna drift back to your heels and lose balance when you get to your lockout. If your feet are pointed more forward, your knees are gonna fall forward because they're going to be tracking with where your ankles and feet are pointing. So a good rule of thumb is point either the big toe or the pinky towards the edge of the plate right here. From there, you're trying to screw your feet into the floor, plant the big toe down, push out a little bit, hinge to reach, and we're good to go. Once you are pushing into the floor, big toe down, push out, stand, thinking about leg press to hip thrust. The next thing we're gonna be thinking about is how we're gonna pull the slack out of the bar. Now, the thing is, a lot of people will think this is pulling the slack out of the bar. That is not. You're pulling some slack, let's say about 50% of it, as opposed to being able to really pull the slack out of the bar, creating tension with your upper back, trying to get as much bend to the bar as you possibly can. So for conventional, would look somewhat like this. Set yourself up, reach down, pull up, creating tension in your upper back and your lats, puff the chest out, wedge, boom. There's your slack pull. For sumo, very similar. From here, grab one, grab two, create tension with your upper back, slack pull to wedge. Now keep in mind, whichever bar you end up using is gonna dictate how much of that slack pull you're actually able to get. If you're using a stiff bar, you're going to see a lot less. I'd say you get to about maybe 550 pounds to around 600 pounds. If you're using a deadlift bar, usually anything past even 3 reds, you will start to see a bend to the bar. So make sure you're able to exaggerate that more with a deadlift bar so you're able to push your hips into the bar a lot harder. All right guys, last but not least, your wedge. So the biggest mistake I see a lot of people make when they wedge into the bar for deadlift, whether it's conventional or sumo, is they'll try to sit their hips back way too much and try to squat the weight up. When it gets heavy enough, the bar is gonna pull you forward. So when you're setting yourself up for deadlift, right, if you're doing conventional, you're not trying to sit down and stand up. When it gets heavy enough, your hips are gonna rise, you're gonna get pulled forward, you get pulled out of position. So instead, combine your slack pull and your foot pressure so you get upwards pull, downwards push. So upwards pull, push through the floor, push forward, then stand. A good cue to think about is push your hips to the bar as hard as you can. Even if it's conventional, you're trying to decrease the distance between the front of your hip and the bar. So trying to create push and pull. For sumo, same thing. If you overly sit back and your hips are too low, same thing's gonna happen. You're gonna get pulled forward out of position. So instead, think here, hinge back, pull the slack, pull up, push forward, stand. And that, guys, is how you set up your deadlift. So if you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, hit those PRs, and I'll see you on the platform.